I love breaking down fights, but I also love learning new things by seeing others break down fights. Pay Talks Anime had a video analyzing what makes a great fight. I'm going to use it to break down some fights in this video. His 6 sections were viewer experience, choreography, character and plot, direction, magic system, and hype. I like it, but he didn't properly explain the difference between viewer experience and directing. He specifically said that viewer experience had cinematography, pacing, music, and more, but that's what I define as directing. So what does he count as directing? I don't know, so I'll combine VE and directing into one. Now, which fights am I going to compare? I'll choose Aang vs Ozai and Zuko vs Azula, because in another video, Pei argued that Zuko's final fight was superior to Aang's, but with this grading system, I believe I can come to a different conclusion. Let's begin. For directing, Zuko vs Azula is better. The music choice, the muted sound effects, and the slow motion combined take the cake compared to Aang's fight, which is directed normally. For choreography and magic system, Aang's fight is better. I'm mixing the two because the magic system of bending is directly tied to martial arts. In Zuko's fight, they both just shoot fire at each other. If it wasn't for how big the flames were due to the comet, the fight would be unimpressive. Meanwhile, Aang's fight has him using all 4 elements against one of the greatest firebenders alive. He uses the earth as defense, water to break his fall and put out fires, and air to evade. They're both moving around the environment and making interesting use of it. Aang even brings out the seismic sense and energy bending to flesh out his mastery of the magic, while Ozai uses a never before seen use of fire with a ball he created. The most interesting part of Zuko's fight was when he brought back the breakdancing to one-up Azula, but Aang using Toph's technique to put down the Fire Lord with ease trumps that by itself, in my opinion. For characters and plot, it depends on how you look at it, but I see Aang's fight coming out on top. For plot, beating Ozai is obviously more important than beating Azula. For character, Zuko has already completed his character arc at this point. On top of that, these two have fought multiple times, at the start of Season 2, alongside Team Avatar, and at Boiling Rock. Adding one more confrontation doesn't add more to his character development, especially since he loses. Aang and Ozai have never even met, which makes their fight hold a little more weight. Aang also has his character arc of deciding whether he should kill the Fire Lord or not, which had an entire episode focused on it. In the end, he sticks to his beliefs and uses a new power that allows him to accomplish his goal. Aang also had the subplot of not being able to enter the Avatar state since the end of Season 2. This fight pays that off by unlocking that ability once more. This is also the first time we get to see Aang fully in control of his Avatar state. Sounds like a win for Aang to me. Finally, for hype, it can be argued either way. Most of the hype from Zuko's fight comes from the directing, while Aang's fight is actually hype due to the actual attacks being sent and the scale of the battle. I'd give it to Aang, but I would understand giving it to Zuko. So, using his grading system, Zuko won directing/viewer experience. Both were tied for hype, and Aang won choreography, magic system, and character and plot. It sounds like Aang had the better fight. What do you think? Keep learning, you Brarians.